if you can hear me. I'm gonna get this camera here on the stand so you guys can see what's going on over here. Hopefully the audio is coming through. Somebody will test. Let's see. Test, test. Yeah, getting something. Here we go. All right, cool. All right, so real quick, let me get this all squared away and then blab on about it for a hot minute. As you can see, I'm super prepared for this live. All right, so what we're gonna do, first of all, thanks for tuning in, checking it out now, checking it out later, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go into Shaper 3D and I'm gonna design a cup. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna design a cup where one fits, it's gonna be sleeved. So there's gonna be the internal cup, which actually holds your, water, drink, whatever the heck it is. And you'll also have the exterior sleeve that'll have some designs on it. I'm gonna show you guys a few examples that I banged out last night, and we'll build one right now and we'll take it from there. We'll print it, and that will be by the time I'm not going to make you guys wait around for the print. I'll print it and then I'll post that as a short today. So let's do it. Let's see if we can get this lined up to looking. Let's do it over this way, actually, so we get a little bit more light. There we go. Looking good there. All right, cool. Let's do it. All right. And here are the examples. Here's some of the examples I had yesterday. So let me get rid of this. All right. So this was two separate bodies that I built here. The first body I had this one. I created a cylinder and then I extruded the interior. I drew another cylinder and it's like 100 mil and then it was 98 mil. Extruded it all the way down to about 98 because it's 98 tall. So maybe it's roughly 50, 60, 70 wide. Don't really remember. It doesn't matter. The biggest thing that you need to remember is, let's say this is 50 millimeters wide and then you have a 2 millimeter wall thickness. And we're going to go 50, 2 millimeter wall thickness. The extrusion is going to be 48. So you're going to draw another circle at 48 mil and you're going to extrude it down 2 to 3 to 4 mil right below the base there. So as you can see, my base says 2 mil. I'm not going to print it with 2 mil. I would most likely have at least 4 mil for a base for where the liquid is pushing most of the pressure on. Now, what I then did was I added a plane and I created this second body here, which was another cylinder, the exact same measurement of the inside. So let's say we'll go back to 50. This might have been 70, but for argument's sake here, this is 48 mil from edge to edge, inner diameter. Outer diameter is 50 mil edge to edge. So I made a 48 mil cylinder and then I extruded that cylinder by another 2 mil. So now this is sitting at 48 for outer, 46 for inner. You've got enough room to fill it up with your fluids, milk, drink, your favorite beverage, whatever it is. Then I was able to drop this cylinder into this design here. And the cool part is the inside is the color of whatever color you want, and the exterior is the color of whatever color you want. But once you do your first shape, that's where you're going to start cutting some holes, cutting some lines. As you can see, it's almost like a yin yang here, but it's a little crooked. It's almost like an S with the two yin yang bubbles there. This looks really cool because you're seeing, when I deselect all, you're seeing the purple push through the white exterior. So let's do this one together. Let's bang this one out and I'll show you guys how easy it is, at least how easy it is that I've gotten to the point. For some people, maybe they'd be able to do this in 3.5 seconds, but for me, it takes maybe roughly about 10 minutes. So let's add a sketch on the base plane here. And for this one, I'm going to use a different shape. This one, we're going to go hexagon. We're going to draw this hexagon out just a bit, and then we're going to tap our number here. Very similar in Fusion 360. I'm using the iPad just for ease of you guys being able to see what I'm doing. but also I've been really digging Shaper because I'm able to use the pen. I don't have like a super sick CAD setup for my computer to where I'm able to use a pen for Fusion. Otherwise, most likely I would never even have started with this. Regardless, let's go 100 mil. It's going to be a big cup. So we've got 100 mil down here. Let's extrude this up 100 mil. And it doesn't really look that tall. So let's go up. Actually, let's go up to 200. We'll go to 200 mil for this. Now, okay, we've got our body. We've got our hexagon. It's 100 mil wide by 200 mil tall. So we can deselect, or we could have kept it on that face because it was just finished its extrusion. So the face that went up is still lit up on screen. You have the option. You can hit deselect, or you could have left it the way it is, tilt it to you a little bit so you can see it, hit sketch, and now it's going to allow us to do that same sketch again. So let's go back into our polygon and let's bang this out to, we'll do the same as before. Let's go a little thicker. We'll make this one 94. So we have a thicker wall. We've got 6 mil on the wall. That'll give some real depth to the color pushing through once we start punching some designs into this. Our inner diameters color, our actual cup itself, will have some, sorry, I hit the cam there. You'll have some nice shadows coming along. Like I'm just trying to think of some creative way to, have an idea and make it look cool. All right, so if we went up 200 mil, let's put a negative extrude on this of 194 to give us a big 6 mil base, right? That means you have a very thick bottom. You're not worried about things. So you're going to be 6 and 6 basically, because the wall, will make the wall for this 4 to 6. So let's just say negative, we'll go negative 194. That'll give us now, actually, no, this one we can go a little lower because this isn't the actual cup. Let's go down to, negative 196. Actually, we'll go 198. Let's go 198 because we don't really need this one to be too thick, because with the two combined, you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, cool. We've got our first shape. Let's start getting some sketches on these walls. So where this is going to be like the example I showed you, the purple example, you're going to be able to now start to see these separate bodies working in tandem, creating two different looks, essentially. For this one, let's just go a couple of, let's stick with the hexagonal theme here, and we'll go 20 mil hexagon on the top. We'll go 14 mil for the next one, and for the next one we'll go 10 mil. So we've got 20, 14, and 10, and now we're going to hit exit sketch. You don't have to keep that in mind. You could have kept it lit and went right for the extrude. I don't like to do that because sometimes it highlights the wall and then I have to back out anyway. So I do it this way. Boom. We're going to hit these hexagons we just designed. We're going to turn our body like this so we can see what's going on, and we're going to punch these through. Boom. I've got those both designed. Both of those are on both sides now. Deselect all. It's looking a little thin, so let's add some more shapes, some more hexagons down on the bottom, just to fill in the, you know what? Yeah, we can do it. We can, for right now, we're going to leave it. Let's go to the next wall over here. We still have 4 more sides, essentially 4 more sides to work with. So for this one, let's let's change it up a bit. Let's do, back to our polygon. Let's do 10, 10, and 10. And off to the center, so the center of these blocks here, we'll do another 4 10s. Boom. And just like that, we've got those. Let's extrude these out. And you see what I mean? Up top there, it looks a little thin. There's not enough. on the top. Although I think that's a pretty cool pattern. Let's see what it looks like when we punch it on through. So we highlighted them all after we created them. Now we're going to go and we're going to push this way. Boom. We've got all of those are now showing the holes. So I really like this, the one we just did, much better than this. For argument's sake and for the live demonstration, I'm not going to go back and reverse this. We'll just add something simple to this side. Maybe we can do, we'll do some more hexagons, but we'll add some flair to this one. Let's do a really big one. Whoop, back. We got to hit polygon. Let's bang this one out to, we'll take this one to 30. And now we're going to do some diagonal rectangles, and we're going to add kind of like these flying pieces here. Let's see what we get. We'll do 16, and this measurement was 35, so 16 by 35, and we are roughly 3 points down from here. So let's do that. 16 by 35, 35, boom, 16, boom. Okay, cool. Good enough. For demonstration purposes, obviously, this is just a rough sketch showing you the capabilities of how to combine two separate bodies in Shaper 3D and Fusion 360. Okay, cool. We're done. That's it for this one. Here's our cup. Or I'm sorry, here's our shell. Excuse me. Here's our outer shell. That's going to be printed in one color. And now we're going to create our inner shell. So let's go to add. This is the same for Fusion 360. If you want to add a plane, you just go to your sketch tools. You'll see it right on the screen. It'll say create sketch, add plane. You'll have the option for right here. It's right here. So add construction plane. Now, this is the part that you want to be pretty careful with, just so you don't have to do too much maneuvering. You've got your three different axes here. I'm going to hit the lower plane. Boom. I'm going to hit next, and I'm going to push that plane above the body here. All right, we're done. Now we're going to start sketching on this plane. Now you can disable this first body if it's in your way, if you're confused by it. And believe me, I've only been doing this a very short while, so I am like super novice, just to know enough just to be dangerous type of deal. But it's pushing me further and further to learn more. So it's a good thing. Sometimes it's okay to be to do harder things first, just to get a little bit of, to get a little bit of understanding. But I think this is a really cool one, and I'm pretty sure anybody can follow this quick tutorial and bang it out, even if you just started today. So let's light that body back up because I want to see it. All right, we're going to close this. Now we're going to hit sketch again. All right, we're going to back out so we can see our first shape. We can already see, and Fusion is the very same thing here. Notice on the screen how I have my outer wall. It's not lit up because you can see it by the color difference between the gray and the black background. The gray meaning the body, the black meaning your background and your grid. We can see our inner line here. We just need to measure it right back up to that inner line. So let's hit polygon. Let's start in the middle. And I believe this was 194. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the first body. This is the first, that's our extrusion. Okay, so this is going to be 94 because we made it a 6 mil wall on the bottom. So we went from 94 or essentially 95 all the way up to 100. So we cut out, we extruded. Maybe I'm confusing the hell out of myself. Okay, cool. Okay, we made this 94 because we know that is the inner diameter of our lower outer shell. Now we're going to extrude this up. What was our measurement here? Do we remember our measurement from our main body? Our main measurement is going to be 200 mil. But keep in mind, we're not able to go 200 mil unless you want this inner piece, which is essentially the cup, to poke past this top rim. We don't want that. So we have to compensate for the negative extrusion left over in our first body. So what did we say our first body here, our negative extrusion was? I believe we made this 4 mil thick. So if this is 200 mil and this is 4, we're going to want to go down 196, right? So, or we're going to want to go up because we're pushing this body up. So let's deselect all. Let's get back to this face. Let's push this up to 196. And now here's a quick test for visualizing for myself. I'm going to show you something really quick so I have an idea, and it's also good for you guys. I'm going to take this from modeling to visualization, and I'm going to change this whole body right now to yellow. Boom. I'm going to change this lower body to orange. Boom. Deselect all. Get out of visualization. Get back into modeling. Now we can actually see if if we've gone too far or too little. Let's highlight this body and we'll drop it down. Okay, cool. Once we get up to the actual level of the two, we'll know if we've made this too tall. Not only by looking at the top here, you can see the top surface, they're both flush, but come around to the bottom. Notice how we still have our orange surface here in the bottom, our orange base. Check this out. You know you've gone too far when you start seeing your second body protruding through, unless that was your design in the first place. You may be designing a special keychain where it has no top and bottom, and your inner body pushes through, and you have that color differentiation on both sides. In this case, we're not doing that. Let's hit back. We are at our height here. Let's take our body back up here, just so it's easier for everybody to see, and this is easier for me to see. Okay, cool. Deselect. Now we're going to want to hit this front face here. We want to sketch again. Why do we want to sketch again? Because we need to make the opening where the liquid is going to go in, right? Okay, so let's get back to our hexagon here. Since it's turned us sideways here, we can flip it any way you want. This way it's easier. I find it's easier to drag your geometric shapes this way as opposed to the other way, but it's completely up to you. Okay, so 94 is our endpoint. We're not going to go 94, we're going to go 90. Let's go 90. Not sure why it's not doing it, but we'll just back out. Boom. Let's tap this. Let's sketch. Hexagon. Let's go 90. Okay, perfect. Now, you know what? We're gonna go 80. We're gonna go 88 instead of 90 to give a true 6 mil on both. This way, this outer shell has 6 mil and this inner shell has 6 mil, totaling 12 mil thick cup. For a cup that you are looking to this might be a great cup for a toddler, right? A very thick cup to where they can chew on, they can gnaw on, all that stuff. At the end of the day, I would think maybe 4 mil would be enough because then it's a combination of 4 and 4 would be 8. You may even want to go thinner. You may even want to go 3 or 2. The choice is yours. Using 4 today. All right, we've got that. Let's deselect that. Okay, cool. So we've drawn our second hexagonal shape in our second body that is now essentially going to be our cup. So let's drop this face down. And what did we say our measurement here was? We had 200 overall measurement with a 6 mil thick base. So that was going to give us only 194 here. So essentially, we can't go past 190. Otherwise, we're poking through the entire cup. So let's take this down to, let's say, negative 180, 184. And there you have it. That's it. Done deal. So now we have this really cool cup. Let's select our inner body and pull it up so you guys can visualize this again. And I'm going to change the color actually. So one is a little bit more drastic than the other. Let's go blue, deselect, and we will change this to purple. Nope. We'll go green. You know what? Let's keep it white. Let's keep it white because the white really shows a nice contrast. Out of visualization, back into modeling. Okay, cool. You know what? We're gonna change this blue because this is the same blue it shows when you light up your actual shapes. Let's go to yellow. Good old yellow. Let's tone it down a little bit more olive in the yellow. Cool. All right, we are back in modeling. We see our lower body here. We've designed these quick shapes, quick designs. We've extruded it, and now we've added a second construction plane where we were then able to create our second body. We're going to double click that body and we're going to slide them right on in. Boom. And when we get them even, we are looking amazing. I think we're a touch. Yep, we're on point. Okay, cool. Now it's done. If you want it to be done, it's done. Export the project is very simple. I'll show you that in a second. Let's add a soft fillet to these or a chamfer. We'll see whichever one looks good, just to make grabbing the cup easier and more comfortable. I like a radius of 4. That looks pretty cool. Heck, let's go 6. Let's go 6 since we've already have a wall 6. Let's keep 6 all the way around. All right, now it's going to be lot more comfortable to hold. For your top lip here, I would say we can give this a try and see what 2 does. 2 looks really nice. And then we'll go 2 on the inside piece as well. 2, looking good. 2. Unfortunately, the inner is not letting me tap on just one. Did you notice that when I, excuse me there. Did you notice that when I tapped on just one outer edge of the outside, it chamfered all of them to whereas on the inside it's acting as separate bodies for some reason. So just bear that in mind when you're actually doing your designing. And what do we say? 2 on the inside. And that's it. We are done. Not really a fan of the olive on white. Let's change the white to a different color. Let's go back in and pull this body out actually so we know we know we're not going to mess up on that separate one. Cool. Back into visualization. Let's change this white to something more exciting. What's a good opposite? I wish I had my color wheel here, but I would say anywhere between like a nice purple would be cool on the exterior. Whoop, let's go back because it changed both. Okay, cool. Let's highlight this, deselect all. Let's do that. Let's get a nice like off purple, almost like a lavender. That looks pretty cool. It's like a bumblebee that ran into a big purple flower. All right, let's do this. Let's go back in, drop this down. This is the beauty of being able to design stuff on the fly. I am blown away by the shit that I'm able to create here with this thing in such a short amount of time. And that's why I wanted to share this live with you guys today, mainly to show you that somebody like myself, and hang on, I'll just give you one example and then I'll pan the cam on me just so I can say peace out to you guys. This was the other design I did. This one is really cool. This looks great with the white and purple. I'm gonna make some really epic cups. That's one thing sure. Again, you don't have to be Johnny Cat Design. You don't have to be somebody who graduated college with a design degree. If you have graduated college with a design degree, you're probably making way more money than I am. And you probably started doing this when you were very young. And that's awesome. I think anybody designing, creating, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a very simple product to one of the biggest, best looking, most up to date engineered bridge that crosses. The sky is the limit, is what I'm saying. I love all sorts of architecture, design, industrial style design, sleek design, aerospace design. It's all cool. Get yourself into this if you've ever thought about creating stuff, and Don't feel like your ability or your lack of ability should stop you from really, really pushing to the next level. Because I started with this simple printer. I looked onto YouTube, I typed in how to use Fusion 360, and I found this guy's video. He had a wealth of knowledge, and then it just went from there. So that's the same thing. I'm hoping that these videos and the quick shorts that I'm posting can inspire anybody who's out there that wants to get into 3D printing, or they already have one and they kind of feel lost, except for Maker World or Thingiverse, where you're just printing other people's designs. That is awesome because a lot of these designs out there are stuff that I couldn't even dream of creating, and it's right there, free to print, which is really radical. I will see you guys very soon. I'm about to post the video. I spent like a bunch of hours editing it, but I had spent all week filming this because it took so many iterations. Let me show you the different ones here, and you'll see them on the video. I went from sketching a design on pad. The old, I almost dropped it right on my dog's head. The She's good. The uh, From sketch to CAD to actual product. I say product. It's not on the market. I just say product because that's a physical object, right? So it is a product, whether it's sold or not. That's my mindset. Okay. I went from this very, very rudimentary, very simple, yet pretty cool that I was able to do this. Then I pushed on to this. I like the shape, just too thin, and there's a bunch of things not right with this. It's not high enough. Then I went to this. And I think this is probably one of the coolest things I've designed as of yet. It's not there yet. It still needs a lot of tweaking. I bought a very inexpensive MagSafe charger. It's coming in the mail a couple of days, so I'll actually have a better fit. The difference between this MagSafe that I'm getting, it's an off brand, it's not an Apple one. The reason why I got it was because number one, it's 20-watt charge instead of 15. Not that it really matters, but I'll take the extra juice. The biggest thing, it's got a very cool LED ring around it, meaning when it's lit up, when it's sitting there, it's going to have a light on it. I like that. I want to see how that looks on this. If it sucks, I'll get the regular Apple one for future design. But one thing I'm going to have to remember is that disc is not going to be the same as the measurement of the new Apple. And then I printed this one, which it almost looks like a doorstop. I'm not really sure what the hell I was thinking here. At the end of the day, I was trying to get it a little bit bigger, and I you could see the two. It's a little too fucking big. So the the design is still, it's still, I'm still working through the designs. One of the thing I'll mention to you right here, and you'll see it on the long form if you check that out. It'll be up today. I like the shape. I like the design. What I started thinking, literally, like at the middle of the night, I'm like, it would be really cool if I made it really industrial looking. Excuse me, and had these different color plates and some nice, really, really nice stainless steel hardware, like screws that are screwing into the 3D print. There's no need for them. Although I can make the holes, plunge the holes, and actually have it screwing into something, I'll probably do that. The goal is to have it look very, sleek but rugged at the same time. Whatever the words are, throw it in the comments if you know what the actual word is for that. Industrial design, in and around that. And that is why I printed this one so large, because I wanted to see if I did a negative extrude and left the edge, what would it look like with the chamfer? And I'm glad I printed it oversized because I can already see some issues that I would have fitting in these plates. Now, if I was just snapping these plates in and epoxying them on, totally possible. There's plenty of glues that work well with all sorts of plastics. Personally, I have very, very vast knowledge on glues because I was in the auto body industry and everything in that industry, from the universal glue, the 8223, that's the SEM 8223. Look it up. One of the best glues you'll ever buy on the market. It's about 50 bucks a tube 10 years ago. So today it's probably like 80 bucks a tube. To panel bonding, to weld through glue. There's so many different variations of glue just in one industry. So glue, totally doable, but I like the idea of having the hardware. At the end of the day, my whole ideas, I'll come up with all these ideas, and some of them they suck. Some of them they may never see the light of day. But the whole concept for me is like keep thinking, keep innovating and keep working at getting better, and your ideas will follow that path, right? And use nature, use the elements of nature, use what you see in your day-to-day life to try to come up with ideas off of other designs, not directly copy them, but use them as inspiration. For instance, I think of the ocean, the way the waves curl, and I think that's one of the most beautiful shapes on the planet. When a wave is tubing or barreling, whatever you want to call it, we used to call barrel riding. It has a very cylindrical, yet beautiful, yet symmetrical, so many different ways, smooth surface, rippled surface. So I think of things like that. I think of the shapes of guitars. I think of the shapes of automobile design. Things like that inspire me, especially modern architecture is becoming very, very fluid because they're using programs like these CAD designs, but they're able to manipulate things into shapes that 20 years ago, which something that used to be a box is now, it looks very organic. So I've rambled on long enough. Thanks for checking this out. Let me get this next video posted, and I'll try to do a live stream. I'll do another one in a week. And if anybody likes it, I'll make a couple of posts about it. If you guys digged this, then I'll do more. If not, then I'll do like one every couple of weeks. We'll see. But let me get back to work. See you soon. Go build yourself a cup, learn how to do the two bodies based off of this video. And I promise you, once you get started, you'll have a lot of fun. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.